I wanted to show you another part of my forest I love. It's kind of hard to see, but way over there is where my little stoop is I like to sit on. Can you see that? Way right there is my little stoop I like to sit on. I always like to show a little waterfall on the stoop in this tree, because this is where I sit when I record these videos. So I think it's really cool. I kind of have like my own personal chair in nature right there. Good morning. Welcome back to my forest. I'm glad you're joining me today. Today I wanted to talk about the practice of gratitude and how you can practice it to improve it in your life. You know, for me, it is something I have to practice, and the more you practice it, you get better at it. I started this journey kind of in my early 20s. I came from a very dysfunctional family, and, I had a lot of negative thoughts in my mind. I mean, I was really consumed by negativity, and it had a huge impact on my life, both in high school and college. And after college, I met some really cool people. I kind of call them the wise ones. They were kind of like my group of people that taught me a lot of stuff, and they taught me about gratitude. And one of the first things they taught me, and it sounds wild, but they were like, Brian, just be thankful for anything and everything. If you can't find gratitude, be thankful for the doorknob on the door. Be thankful for the chair that you're sitting in. Be thankful for the carpet on the ground or the floor. Be thankful for the floor. Be thankful, all that stuff. And it sounds crazy and silly, but I was like, you know what? I'm so miserable. I'll give it a try. I mean, I was really, really bad off, and I was like, I'll give it a try. So I did, and it's amazing because it kind of worked. They used to have this saying, fake it till you make it, and you have to be careful with that saying because you don't want to fake things. But the idea of fake it till you make it means kind of like just practice it, even if you don't necessarily feel gratitude in the moment. Used to say, well, let me try to find the gratitude in this moment. So kind of faking it till you make it. And they also taught me another important practice is a gratitude list. And so they taught me mainly every night to make a gratitude list, because that way you're kind of going to bed, reviewing your day, you're training your mind to look for the positive in the day, and you're going to bed with positive thoughts. So I think that's a really good practice too, to make a gratitude list, particularly at night if you can remember. But sometimes it's hard. Sometimes I forget to brush my teeth, let alone write a gratitude list. But all that really is kind of the concept of immersion. If you've ever studied a language, and I like to study languages, it's easier to learn the language when you're immersed in the culture. And by the way, it's so much easier to learn languages now because of YouTube. There's so many things. I mean, I study French, Japanese, Spanish, Russian, and it's so much easier now because I can watch things on YouTube. And it's amazing how much quicker you learn. So when you immerse yourself in gratitude, you learn it quicker and you practice it better. And it just, you feel better. Your relationships are better. You sleep better. Your health improves. Your overall outlook on life improves. And, no matter where you are on the gratitude scale, I'm not always grateful. We'll talk about that, anger and fear and stuff. Of course, I'm human. And I drive in traffic. If you live in Charlotte and you've been on 485, there's not a lot to be grateful for until you get off the highway. But another thing is journaling. And I've always kept a journal. I love that. And I'm just going to show this. I don't have any sort of affiliate link or something, but I mentioned it in the other video. This is called, it's like a company called Connect 30. And it's like a little gratitude journal. Let's see if I can show you. And I talked about how what's nice about it is you write down things in the morning, and then you come back at night and also write down kind of like a recap and things that you've done. And I mentioned about how it says, today I'll choose joy, or I use gratitude or joy. So today I'll choose joy and gratitude by letting go of. And that's that concept we talk about putting down the glass. So those are some important things, gratitude lists, journaling, practicing. So I want to know about you. What do you do as like gratitude practice? Do you have one? Do you want to start one? If you have one, what do you do? What's worked well for you? What hasn't? I'd like to hear from you. And I bet other people would like to hear too. So leave some comments if you would. And I'd love to hear more about your experience. And as always, I'm grateful for you all. And I hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful day.